Oh, I changed the orientation, so it's going to be stuck this way. My bad. I haven't done a live in a minute. Let's see if anybody even comes on. Norwich Police Department, September 15th, 2024. Went to a medical call. Somebody requested an ambulance, and these guys came and ended his life. He had dirt and leaves stuck in his throat. Not just in his throat, but in his lungs. What up, Bob? Or Rob? My bad. I haven't done one in a minute. We'll see what they're doing. But yeah, dude. And then they're covering for Pagan and Santiago and these bad cops. Nobody's arrested them. They're still out on a daily basis. It's weird. The IG's in report investigating, but everybody else goes to jail when they commit murder. This is a supervisor. What up, bud? How are you? Would you guys go to arrest Pagan for that murder?
You say Pagan?
Yeah.
What murder?
When he beat up that kid behind Iliano's and he got dirt and leaves in his lungs and he ended up dying 2 weeks later.
Honestly, I don't know anything about that, brother. That's probably before my time.
How long? 5 months?
Say that again?
5 months?
Nope, been here longer than that.
So you were here? How do we charge him if I point him out? Can you arrest him?
Can I arrest him if you point him out?
Yeah, if we get the evidence, which points it proves he was beaten.
And what
He's
evidence do you have?
he's caught, huh? Well, the ambulance report saying that he had trauma, he was a victim, that he didn't look like he did when the cops showed up, or well, actually when they called for an ambulance, and the cops showed up, and then they said he was in his boxers, which is a lie. I don't know how else to say it, but he was fully clothed when they showed up, and somehow when he came out of the woods, he was in his boxers. His clothes weren't cut off by medics because they were there, and then they left evidence. They left the murder weapons. There was batons down there, and we just can't get it looked into.
Yeah, I mean, something like that, you would have to call it in or go to the police department or speak to a sergeant.
Well, they actually trespassed his mother from the department, so she couldn't go down there and ask questions.
Okay.
So how do we get around that? I mean, how do you trespass somebody from a public place that they pay for?
Well, it's happened before, actually.
Yeah, when they got to commit a crime, though, right? They have to have a reason.
Absolutely. I'm sure if someone gets trespassed, they have a reason.
Not a mom asking questions.
You're right. Not a mom asking questions, but unfortunately, I can't speak on something I don't know anything about.
Can I get your name, sir?
Absolutely. First name is G and last name Fetty.
Thank you, bud. I appreciate it, and thank you for being professional.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We're just trying to get answers, man.
Absolutely. No, I'm not against that. What's your name?
I don't want to give that out, but we just don't know how. It's the IG's looking into 2 specific officers, but they won't release any of the records. She can't even get a lawyer because they won't. Nobody wants to take the case without evidence. So we're kind of at a crossroads. I mean, if that was my kid, I would be going crazy.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man, but unfortunately, I can't speak on something I don't know anything about,
I appreciate the honesty. I know I'm gonna find somebody. I'm really looking for Pagan. Is he out right now?
He's not out right now, no.
I'll find him, but
Yes, sir. Roger that.
thank you, bud. Have a good one.
As well, thank you.
Sorry, guys. I'm not gonna stand here and harass him. I just want my answers, and we'll go up and we'll find another one. I don't know why. It's weird. Usually they sit in private lots. He chose the fire department this time, but I figured I would do it live. I haven't done a live. I don't even know who he is, to be honest. I've never seen him either. There's 5 there. There was 5 on scene. I have the list of who was there, but Santiago, I believe it was Santiago. I don't even know what kind of vehicle that is. That was some sort of state vehicle, it looked like. But Santiago and Pagan, I believe, are the ones actually being investigated. I can't speak for sure, but I'm pretty sure. I know that Pagan was definitely involved. I don't agree with it, and it's kind of weird how they all work there, and just like the last guy, nobody's seen. No, I haven't heard of this. You guys haven't heard of somebody that died as a result of your coworker, because they're coworkers. Your blue brother killed on duty. Nobody's heard of that. How is nobody heard that? And a big part of it is because the medical examiner lied and wrote that the cause of death was because of drugs, which was not listed in the list of reasons of why he died. There was trace amounts of fentanyl and cocaine in his system, they said, but they can say anything. So now he's coming up this way. But they be out here. I don't know. Every time I see them, that's my new thing. Every time I see them, I'm gonna question them about that. And I was like, where am I at? I don't even know what street this is. This is the one that we downtown. The police department's right there. You go down there and you take a right. Dairy Queen, AutoZone, Firestone. And I was just gonna, what up News Now? West Main, there you go. I was just gonna do West News Now. I literally found out about this 2 days after the town meeting. I wish I knew that night, because I would have went just for that. We will be at the next one, but I don't know how else to bring attention to it and get the truth out there. Nobody else wants to talk about it, put it out there, put the truth out there, because they've spun the narrative up so hard that she's not just going to be fighting the criminals. She's going to be fighting their story, the story they made up and told everybody. The medical examiner flat out told his mother, these are not my words. I would not have wrote it like this. And my boss told me to write it like this. Oh, you're going to do a fucking U-turn? What are you doing, guy? Public U-turn. Oh, no, it's Foxwood, so you can do whatever, I guess. But, then they lied. And they told his mom too. Perry told his mom, well, we think it might have been bad drugs. You think bad drugs gave him a beating, cut him open everywhere, gave him blunt force trauma? Blunt force trauma was a mechanical injury, they said. He had it all over his body. They left the weapon. Well, a weapon. You know they all have one. But she's in possession of one of the police batons, his clothing, everything that was at the scene. Because, you know, they don't care. They're not going to clean up. I don't understand. His shirt disappeared. His phone disappeared. His phone was wiped clean. How do you get into an iPhone? I thought you couldn't even get into iPhones. When she logged on to trace its location, it was wiped. Apple said if it ever turns back on, they'll be able to ping it. But as of now, there's nothing on it, which is kind of wild. No, Tom, there's absolutely something not right. And it starts with the police department withholding all the evidence. Any other time a cop shoots somebody or does anything, kills them in Connecticut, it gets released. We see it, what, a day or two, a couple days. Within a couple days, it's on the news. But since they ruled this one a fake OD, it don't matter. If they're withholding all the records, there's a reason. Why else wouldn't you be, the kid's dead. Why wouldn't you release the records? And I don't see how the Inspector General doing an investigation affects his mother getting the records to do her own investigation. Like, wouldn't you figure he would give the records out so more people would be investigating so they could get more done? That's what I would picture. And my bad doing it the camera this way. I forgot that you had to switch it. It's not like it used to be. I haven't done a live in a few months, but I'm out. Like, I didn't even want to come out here, dude. It's raining. It's gonna be snowing soon. But this one's literally driving me nuts. Like, I think about it all the time, and how we can. Like, and it's gonna sound wrong, but I almost wish I didn't hear about it, because I'm gonna be stuck on this. And this isn't the first time we've had a mother, or we've talked to a mother with a similar story. The other one, the police didn't kill her son, but the lady at their country club's daughter, who works at the country club with her mother, hit her son who had special needs. I don't remember, it was like Stanford or Norwalk, one of those towns, and the police literally covered the whole thing up. She's been fighting it since 2021, I think, which is madness. Go out and jaywalk. Watch what Norwich cops do to you. You don't even have to jaywalk. You can cross the street legally, and look at what Norwich cops do to you. They attack you. They throw your phone. They slam you on the hood of the car. They steal your property. They steal your ID so they can lick it and sniff it every night when they go to bed. And then, if you're lucky, like I was, a supervisor will come and well, I can't even say lucky, because the supervisor still allowed him to put in a fake ticket after reviewing the footage. If he did what he said he was going to do on their body cams, and they went back and reviewed it right away, they would all know. I mean, unless they can't read. But if they can read, they would all know that you're allowed to cross the street in Connecticut anywhere. Like, you can cross the street, you just can't impede traffic. I waited there for 2 minutes. Sorry. So, I didn't impede anybody. You know what I mean? Like, but it doesn't really matter. The prosecutors, I'll give a little update while I'm on here. I had court last week. The prosecutors want me to go to jail for 9 months because I won't take their, they want me to sign a paper stating, they said I can pick what I want, but basically they want, they call it guidelines, but they want me to sign over certain rights, tell me I can't talk at a traffic stop, or I can't do this, and they'll pretty much let me off. Not let me off, but you know what I mean? And I can't do that. My bad. It was my Wi-Fi was on, so it grabbed CVS's Wi-Fi and messed me up. But I don't know where I was. Yeah, so I have a public pretender. That was the worst thing I ever did. I should have never let him come on. Well, my first one was okay. I went one day and they took my public defender and they gave me a special. And in my eyes, he's pretty much the prosecutor's butt buddy. He just wants me to take the deal. He won't let me see any of the discovery. I can't see it. We have to ask court. He literally wants me to make a decision without seeing any of the evidence against me. He told me that we have absolutely no rights at all when it comes to officer safety. Even if you're 60 feet away saying something, they can arrest you. So I think the first line of duty is to get this fucking guy out of here because he's just a crook. And we'll go from there. But what were the charges on that? 3 interferings. I got 3 separate arrests there. 3 interferings, 2 breaches of pieces, and 1 creating a public disturbance, because I fight with them, but after they arrested me the first time, I told them that this isn't breach of peace. You need to look into what breach of peace is. It was Nixon, blonde Nixon, the one that was having an affair with male Nixon when they were both married at the department, and they got divorces and now they're married. And she told me she knows what breach of peace is very well, and she's one of the best on it. And then days later, they switched it to creating a public disturbance. She's the same one that told Giller last time if I left the scene to disregard, and he still moved forward. So, which he seems to do a lot with her. Somebody was trying to, I have complaints at my house. Somebody went to the department to file a complaint on him, and he was in the lobby literally harassing the dude, telling the dude, they ain't gonna do nothing, go ahead, make a complaint. Kind of like when he pulled over Myron, and he said, it doesn't really matter what you do, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, because he knows these fucking idiots back him no matter what. So Nixon called him out of the lobby when she brought the complaint form out. She said, come on, Giller, waved him out. And he ignored her and continued to harass the dude and tell the dude it doesn't matter what the complaints say or what he does, because they're not going to do anything to him. That's accountability. You know what I mean? These guys are fucking losers. So, I don't know. I'm not going to stay on here forever, I guess. I'll stay on if people want me to, but I usually just pop back on when there's cops. I just haven't done a live in a minute. I miss lives. So, and they're charging me an arm and a leg for these records, Keith. Yo, last time I went, they charged me $120 for 6 videos and almost 200 pages of paper. Out of probably 175 pages of that paper was nothing of value. They literally printed pictures off of my YouTube page that I already have access to. They're mine. I know what's on there, and gave them to me. They don't let you inspect the records ahead of time. They didn't even give me a receipt. They refused to give me a receipt for my money. So either that tramp I got the records from stole my money, or they split it. But they're wild, guys. It's nuts, dude. Yeah, Johnny. Literally. I didn't catch it when I left. As soon as I left, I said, damn, I didn't get a receipt. And it doesn't, we pay a records lady at Willimantic, right? That's her job. But if you request records, you don't deal with the records lady. That was the first time I've seen her in years. You deal with the deputy chief. The deputy chief safeguards the records. I just had a FOIA hearing with them 2 weeks ago over the June 3rd incident, and they don't want to release those videos because there's juveniles, and they don't really know how to edit. They only know how to put black boxes on there. So they said the whole screen will just be juveniles. So I got FOIA has it set, so I got to email them. I got to set a time up, go down there, inspect the records. I could probably pay. And you know what's crazy is they don't charge everybody for records. Everybody doesn't pay for records. Select people pay for records. So I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me why we have to pay for stuff. We pay for all that paper, all those CDs, thumb drives. They're not going and buying that when we need it. It's a stockpile there. That comes out of the money at the beginning of the year, and however they do it, it's already there. We're not paying for this stuff. So why are they charging me for it? But it wouldn't have mattered if I left without one or not. I wasn't going to stay there. It's not like they would have produced it. I would have just been there still till this day. I can't camp out in the lobby. They changed the window too at Willimantic. I don't know why it makes no sense to me. It looks like they just needed to spend a bunch of money because they shut down the lobby for 6 months, if not more. And instead of setting up a different room where people could go file complaints or do business, they literally made victims, complainants, everybody, you had to deal with them in the FOIA. You had to stand there and freeze in the FOIA and the doors, between the doors, not the lobby, but and do your business there. All just to take out the window. They took out the big window that was there, and they literally put in one little slit prison window. So and it's not like they've had issues where they would need to install something like this. Nobody's ever went into the Willimantic Police Department and tried to stick their hand under the little hole in there and, you know what I mean, do something to them retards. Nobody even cares about them. Why? Like, we didn't need that window. And in my eyes, that's horrible service. Anybody goes in there to make a complaint, a victim, and you're trying to see the cops through this little goddamn slit. Yeah, that's customer service. UConn took out you can't even get into the lobby without calling. You have to use a kiosk, call some retard, and have them come out and talk to you. That's not service. Like, where's our lobby? They just need to blow money and get safer from people coming in to make complaints, to file charges, victims. These people they're literally insane. And the more I go through this process, I can't even front. It literally opens I've been through court since I was 15. I've been going to court. You know what the difference is from when I was 15 till 2014? I actually committed crimes, and I actually did things. I may not have agreed with what I got every time, but I did something wrong. And then you go to court now, I did nothing wrong. They won't let me see my discovery. The judge won't even listen. They literally won't look at anything. It's take our deal or go to trial. And not everybody, like, I don't put all my business out there, but I'm not scared of going to jail. I'm scared of, I'm not even scared of it. It's just the repercussions could be bad. So not even for me, just for the people in my life. So if I'm gonna go, I gotta make sure I gotta do this right. It's absolutely a big club, Tom. These dudes are crazy. How do you murder somebody and get away with it? We need to abolish these, we need the federal government to come in and charge the union and all these police departments with RICO. I don't see how they keep getting away with it. I lost my goddamn cigarettes? What the hell? So they're criminal enterprises. The bargain. Look at the chief in East Lyme. Dude's got him. He lied. He not like. And how is this not a big deal? They're making the domestics a bigger deal. He lied about having a weapon on a protective order, a gun. He violated the protective order for having a firearm. Dude, if you did that or I did that, we would be smoked. They would literally make it domestics are some of the worst. That's one of the worst cases in Connecticut to get. The judges love talking smack about it. They love telling everybody how bad it is. And you know what? Look at what happens when it's them. It's not a big deal. He's getting all charges dismissed. They had another firearm. They said, where's the third gun? Oh, I don't know. He ended up trading it or giving it away or selling it. They don't even know. They said they confirmed it, but there's no proof confirming that they confirmed it. He sold it or traded it to another cop when he worked at Ledyard. No paperwork, no trail, no nothing. Here in Connecticut, I'm going back this way. In Connecticut, you got to file paperwork. I don't know how it is like everywhere, but you can't just sell a weapon, a firearm. And the judges love telling you how dangerous firearm charges are and how bad they are and how tough they are on crime. Yet this dude's getting all charges dismissed in a year. He's got to do a year, some domestic classes, and they're dropping everything. How do you get all charges dropped? And okay, maybe one domestic, right? Like, oh, they deserve a diversion program. He has two domestics. He has a history of beating on his wife and other cops covering it. I'm glad that East Lyme is investigating all the officers involved. They literally told his wife, we can't investigate our chief. You have to call the state police. And they left. Norwich cops showed up when the dude assaulted me at the courthouse, and they said, we can't do this. They called the state police, but you know what? As shitty as they are, they still sat there and waited for state police to show up. And I don't know how it is everywhere. Connecticut, they have a duty to arrest in a domestic. They have to arrest somebody if there's a domestic, which they didn't do either time. They didn't do it any time. They don't care. So I don't know. This whole state, dude, and it's not just this state. It's nationwide. It's literally like this in every state. The only problem, I don't know. I preach that I want sheriffs back, and everybody's like, yeah, they're the same. I get they're the same, but at least after their term, you can vote them out. Like, you know what I mean? It's if we don't like what they're doing when their term's up, we vote somebody else in. They literally took away every position for an elected a position in policing, and it makes no sense to me at all. Like, that's why we have marshals in our courts, and I believe, I mean, who knows why they did it, but now they have all final say in the courts. And look at the marshals can do whatever they want, and the state police, nobody comes and does anything when they mess up. We've literally caught them flat out lying. We have evidence of it, arresting somebody over something they made up. And you know what the state police did? Absolutely nothing. They still came and arrested the dude instead of investigating like they should have. Go to court and have them do something. You call the police will not show up. They will flat out tell you they are not coming. Like when my phone was stolen from Norwich, I called the police. I'm the one that made a complaint. And they said, all right, we'll be there in a little bit. I had to call them an hour later for them to tell me, oh, we're not coming. We're talking to their supervisor on the phone. They did no investigation at all. I'm still waiting to get the affidavit, but I'm pretty sure the retard that filled it out wasn't even there when the stuff they made up happened. Like, they claimed that I walked in and was trying to record and basically causing a scene, which didn't happen. I never did that at all. And what proof do you have? There's no cameras there. You can't record in our courts because they don't want you to catch them. So they went and took the one affidavit. They stole my phone. They kept my phone for 15 days to call and tell me, the judge didn't sign the warrant. No fucking duh, retard, because I didn't do anything wrong. Midget tried to get into my phone. The short dumbass marshal, the retarded one, he literally tried to get into my phone. He so that what else? He tried to have me arrested that day. I'm at Dunkin' real quick, but he tried to have me arrested because he said I called him a bitch. I don't even remember it, but he said I called him a bitch outside, and they went and found a complainant on the sidewalk. No, we can't do that. So, who's that? Who? I don't know who you are. Weirdos yelling at me. I have no idea who that person is. And I don't mind talking to people. Don't sit there and call me boy. I'm not your boy. I don't even know who you are. It's just wild what they do out here and what they get away with. They lied to me for 2 years and told me there's a judge's order and I can't bring my phone into any courthouse and blah, blah, blah. Which, guess what, guys? Ended up being a goddamn lie. So, but what do? Our great state police, the dude, they molested me. The dude rubbed his butt all up against me in Norwich and pushed me out of the door. And the state police came and said that it didn't happen. They have cameras. It didn't look like that. While refusing to look at my camera, that proved it all. I said, look at my view. I have a 360 camera. We don't need to see that. The state police are useless. They're literally in on everything. There was a sewage accident last night in Danielson. A truck leaving somewhere had raw sewage leaking from it, and somebody called the state police to notify them, and guess what they did? Absolutely nothing. They didn't care at all. They literally, nobody did anything until this morning. So, they're just lazy. Like when they stole my tools, they didn't want to do anything. It's just, I don't know, it almost gets depressing at times. Like, straight up, it almost fucking gets depressing. It feels like you're fighting a giant. I'm just ordering coffee, sorry. So, but I'm not giving up, and I'm not letting these retards, dude. I'd understand if I actually did something. You know what I mean? If I actually broke the goddamn law. And if I was doing this so much, don't you think other people would arrest me? Not just Giller. At this point, all my arrests in Willimantic, because there's 4. There's not just the 3 from me talking or not talking to filming. There's another one from when I went to film them at Stop and Shop one night. I showed up and he ran my info and they said I had a warrant from court because I was sick. Court told me it would be all right because the judge was just sick 2 weeks before that. So they're like, yeah, you're good. I go out like 2 days later to film and get arrested for a warrant that ended up getting thrown out and I got my money back for. But he's a menace, dude. He's a menace. I saw him the other day. I called him a bunch of Nazis. They literally parked in a business's parking lot, walked over out down the road to a house. I don't know if they were drinking beers or if they were actually on a call. I have no idea what they were doing. But when they left, they ran my girl's information, her plates, because I had her car. Like, why are you running her plates? You already have her information. You're just looking to see if it's legal so you can come attack me. What about when they went? There's no footage. They admitted that they said there was footage from when they went to my girl's mother's house. And then they gave me everything and it wasn't there. And then when I asked about it, they said that they never had it and it didn't exist. I said, so which is it, guys? Because you can't admit to having it and then say it was off. And I was just talking to her mom about it the other day. She said that they kept telling her I'm a real bad dude. I'm a bad dude. I'm a troublemaker. I'm this, I'm that. And luckily, they started off by lying to her face because they told her that I was driving her daughter, or her daughter was driving me around all day. It was a holiday. Her daughter was literally at her house. I'm gonna get cigarettes real quick. What up, bud? Can I get a pack of new 400s?
New 400?
Yeah. You guys got soft packs? Thank you, buddy. Have a good one. But yeah, that I'm such a bad dude and I'm a troublemaker and I'm this and that. And her daughter was driving. Her daughter left there to pick me up. So, and her mom knows I'm not. Her mom, they've known me, dude. I was with my girl in 2011 for like a couple weeks, like when I was actually like not that great of a person. They know I'm not a scumbag and they know what I'm doing. Like they can go trash them all they want. Like making stuff up or whining about your opinion. I wouldn't like me either, dude, if I was going around telling everybody, if somebody was going around telling everybody I'm a scumbag and I'm breaking the law and I'm a loser. Like, you know, and these things are all true. So I wouldn't like me either. But it says a lot. Like when they tell everybody, they literally go around telling people, oh, I film kids and like this. Dude, if you have nothing real and all you can do is make something up, you're a scumbag. You're a fucking loser in my eyes. Like, what up, truth be told? Thank you, brother. So, and it's magical that their cameras weren't on. Or how about when they walked out of my girl's house, they said their investigation wasn't done. They still went down and looked through her yard. They swore I ran out the door and I made it down 3 flights of stairs from the time it took them from the back to walk from their cars 30 feet to the back of the house. There's no way. They searched 3 houses up. They claim that there was a neighbor that told them they just saw me leave. Which neighbor was it? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna make sure this went through. Hold on. Oh. Is this 538 West Main? Yeah. Did you get a mobile order for 3 creams, 5 sugar, hot coffee, medium? Dan K? Right here. I gotta look at Daniel K? Yeah. But they literally said that they had a neighbor tell them this and that, but there's no evidence, there's no name, there's no statement. They literally made it up. Like they claimed that my girl hid my backpack. They took it and they threw it behind a bunch of stuffed animals. When the backpack's clearly right there, they don't understand that I have like 4 or 5 backpacks. They think because they saw one of my backpacks. There's no belongings of me there. They know I do not live there. They know I live in Mansfield. They have my address. It's on every complaint. It's on every FOIA. Yet they still went to my girl's mom's house and then my girl's house. They tried to give my girl a ticket. They claimed that her car was under investigation and she was involved. But you know what they didn't do? They still didn't take a statement from her. Why wouldn't they take a statement from her? Why'd she have to go down and file a statement on her own days later? My opinion is that it's intentional. If they put her statement in there, it would directly contradict what their thank you, brother. Have a good one. But it would directly contradict what they're telling everybody. So, what do you do? Like, it's kind of pathetic. And it's not just me they're doing it to. Dude, there's a kid out there right now. We can talk about that now a little bit. He got a $100,000 bond. You know, La Chappelle, that great cop that actually just got promoted. He's a corporal. There was a bad assault at Stop and Shop by West Ave in Willimantic, I believe the end of 2023. They arrested the main dude. They said there was another dude involved. They couldn't figure out who it was. For some reason, there was no video evidence. They claimed that Stop and Shop didn't catch it, but most of those entrances and exits there have cameras or stores. So, I mean, if you check those stores, you'd have a better chance at seeing stuff. Well, they didn't check any of it from what I'm told. And the quote-unquote, well, no, he is a victim. He's not a quote-unquote. But the victim said that it was 6 months later, he saw a picture of him on Facebook and said, that's the guy. And he brought it to the police department. Well, the guy says it's not him. He had an alibi. And the guy that committed the crime said, no, that's not him. Despite having an alibi, the guy that actually did it, saying, no, it wasn't him. They still went and arrested the dude. From what I understand, just off of the victim saying that he was this is the guy involved. And it kind of falls on LaChapelle. In my eyes, he could have, I haven't seen the actual stuff, but the dude that saw it was like, dude, this is kind of a BS investigation. He didn't really do any investigating at all. So the dude luckily had some money saved. He was about to buy a house, so luckily he had money to bond out on a $100,000 bond and spend a bunch of money on a lawyer that he shouldn't have to get. But it's kind of pathetic what they can get away with and what court will sign off on. And since the police accountability bill in 2020, court's supposed to review the warrants before signing them. They're supposed to review this stuff so this doesn't happen as much. But it appears like they don't do anything at all. Why were they where? At Stop and Shop? Because it was two parties meeting to drop off a kid or swap a kid. And I guess the dude that is admitted that they already have that did it assaulted the girlfriend, the kid's mother's boyfriend or something. But there was two people that did it, but he's claiming it wasn't him. His alibi is claiming it wasn't him. The guy that did it is claiming it wasn't him. There's really no evidence other than the victim saying it was him. So, and I don't know. I don't believe that's enough. If you have all that stuff on your side, is a victim enough to just go off of? But, and maybe if it was a different cop, we would expect more. But we see LaChapelle, dude. A dog attacking a door handle on a car is considered a hit. That dog hits all the time, and yet they never find. I mean, not never, but all the ones we have, they don't find drugs. It's not. He's a fucking scumbag. And if these dog cops were decent, you would. I mean, if I was a dog cop and killer kept calling me and my canine to go do searches, and he constantly turned up wrong, I would be like, dude, what are you doing? You're making me and my dog look like a fucking retard. The problem is nobody usually learns about it or hears about it. They don't keep track of these wrong dog hits, false dog hits. They're not called false. They literally tell you, oh, that just means there was drugs in there within the past 3 to 6 months. That's not what that means at all, you fucking lying bitch. So, if anybody's on here, dude, this week we'll do it live too. Town hall meeting, town council meeting. Willimantic, the town council members asked us to go. They said that this is what we need to do. This is the next step. Because it appears like, well, it's not, the mayor out there isn't like a real mayor job. I don't even know why we have it. It's more like I don't know what you'd call it, just a position. It's more like, he doesn't actually do anything. But if he's up there and people bring him complaints, he should be bringing these complaints to the board. And he's not. So we need to go around him. We should just fire his dumbass. He got his daughter, who's just a junkie, a year or two ago, a job in the town hall. That's nepotism. Like, there was nobody more fit for that position. Nobody else applied. Because how it looks is if anybody else applied, they would have been more fit for that position than what we got. So I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But if we are going to start hiring addicts and putting them in these positions, which I'm not against. I was a drug addict for years. I've been clean over 5 years now. And I never thought it would happen, to be completely honest. And I'm so grateful it did. But if that's what we're going to do, let's give all the other addicts in Willimantic a chance. Let's give them a job. You know what I mean? There's plenty of people out there more that deserve that job than this lady, who was literally sitting around living off daddy's money before. Let her continue to do that, and let's get somebody that actually needs the job in here. Yeah, Tom, absolutely. Not only are they wrong all the time, they abuse the hell out of them when they use them to intimidate people. Like we saw when they arrested Paul for the whatever going on with his kid. Why was there a dog there for a concerned father? Can anybody tell me why they brought a canine for a concerned dad? Because they're a bunch of losers. If they're that scared that they need a dog for everything they do, then don't be a cop. Stop hiring these pussies. Maybe start hiring cops. We hear it all the time. They don't hire smart cops. And I don't like to say things unless I know they're true, or there's evidence leading it to be true. That's a factual statement. Look up Jordan versus New London. New London Police Department refused to hire him. He thought it was racial. Well, when he brought it to court, he found out it was because he did too well on the tests. So they obviously look for a specific type of dummy. There ain't no normal person gonna take these jobs, dude. How do you do that to another person? How do you lie, or not even lie? Because sometimes they don't lie. Sometimes there's an actual charge. You know what I mean? But I'm not putting nobody in jail for a goddamn breach of peace or anything. I would not put anybody in jail unless it was absolutely needed or a violent charge. You know what I mean? It takes us, and that's the problem with Giller. Giller admitted he never wanted to be a cop. He didn't care. He only took the job so he could be done in 20 years. And then he got in, and since he stops everybody he sees and searches them and finds drugs sometimes, they think he's a really good, you know what I mean? He's going to be a narc. That's what he wants to be. There's not even drugs in Willimantic like that. The News, 60 Minutes, all these places kind of really hurt Willimantic because they named it the heroin capital of the world and this and that. Willimantic was never the heroin capital of anything. I hate to break it to everybody. There's a ton of people out there that, you know what I mean? Back when I was running the streets, people used to think that was something cool. Oh, they were not even the heroin capital of Connecticut. Never, not once. The cities have 50 times more drugs than Willimantic has at any time. So, the mayor loves to go out and tell everybody to spend their money and this and that. He doesn't even spend his money out there. When I requested how much he got paid, because he claims he doesn't get paid, average salary, if you look it up on Google, is like $57,000 to $67,000, maybe a little more. So I FOIA'd it. After telling me he doesn't get paid, they gave me a paper saying, no, he does get paid, but he only gets paid $5,000 a year. And I said, all right, well, where's that money go? Because they said, oh, he doesn't receive it. So the guy telling everybody else to spend their money in Willimantic, he tried talking down to me and making it look like I don't do anything. I need to do fundraisers and I need to do this and that. He agreed to 4 times. I said I'd do a fundraiser. I said, I want you to quadruple what we raise. He agreed. I have the email. As soon as he agreed to it, he immediately started backtracking and saying, no, I said double. And then after the last town hall meeting, I said none. No, we have it, you fucking liar. So his money supposedly goes into a fund for the town hall employees to throw parties throughout the year. Instead of going to the No Freeze, the food bank, any of these places that actually deserve it, he gives it to retards that make more money than almost everybody else in the town. It makes no fucking sense to me. But he'll get up there and do his weekly meeting and tell everybody, oh, go out, support local businesses, this, that. Well, last time I saw the retard, he almost hit me on his bicycle on the sidewalk. Why didn't the cops attack him? We've seen Giller attack people on the sidewalk for riding bicycles. Why wasn't Giller there jumping the mayor? Why is the leader of this community, right, the mayor, this high position, leading by example? But he's got no problem going to the paper and telling everybody. He went to the paper and told everybody, I'm wrong. And me and AFA, we're wrong. And we don't know what we're talking about. But the dude doesn't even know the fucking statute. He knows nothing about what he's talking about. He thinks because he got up there with his boyfriend, Paul Rivers, or whatever his name is, and they trashed us, that they're right. And then he told everybody, what did he tell? Oh, I'm getting threatened because there was backlash. So from arresting me the first time they arrested me, and from when AFA went down there, they were real close together. There was backlash. People are threatening me. Then they show an example. It's not a threat. Somebody said, "I hope you get cancer and die." That's not a threat, you retard. That's just how somebody feels. That's not a threat. Like, it makes no sense to me. It's really mind-blowing. And we got cops out here in Norwich, the police department's right down there, not just murdering people, but trespassing people from that cop. We just trespassed somebody. Yeah, of course you guys did. That doesn't mean it's right, you fucking idiot. I'm just opening this. Hold on. You know what I mean? I've got nothing against that guy. I have no idea who he was. He didn't know who I was, apparently. Which is another thing. They got officers out here. They know I'm out here. It doesn't sound like they tell any of them, "Oh, hey, you may see somebody with a camera. You better act right or do this and that." Like, no. They just let each one beat you up and they learn on their own. There's an internal investigation going on. It might be done. I got to request it again since they just flat out didn't answer my last FOIA. But there was an internal investigation going on into Master Nooney, the guy who beat me up and stole my ID last year for crossing the street. I actually ran into him down here. That fucking idiot Peter Camp, the ex-Norwich cop that works at the courthouse every day and parks illegally every day and then goes inside and investigates criminals. That retard called the cops on me because I wrote on the sidewalk next to his car in chalk. And Master Nani showed up, and I'll give him some points because he was all right. He was sure trying to beg me to not do it, but he didn't tell me I couldn't do it. He was actually... I thought that was a statey. Every time I see the staties out here, I yell at them. I tell them, "Get the fuck out of here." You know why? Because if you call the state troopers, they will not come to Norwich. They say, "Call the Norwich police." Even if the Norwich police come, like when they trespassed me from going inside a parole, I wanted the state troopers to come out and correct the situation. But you know what I mean? You give them these little chances to look good, and they just refuse. It's almost like they don't want to look good. So, but Master Nani did better than the supervisor and the guy I yelled at. Well, I didn't yell at him, but the guy I asked the other day about the murder. He did better than both them. And that fat, bald motherfucker told me flat out he's going to find out if he's allowed to park there or not. And if he is, he's going to arrest me for harassing him because he shouldn't have to see the chalk next to his car every day. And I can't swear on the sidewalk. And I've never even said anything bad about that dude. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff ever since the first time I met him was when I first started doing stuff out here at the court. And he showed up and he tried implying that I was there to incite them and this and that, and I had to shut him down. I was all right with him then. He came when that girl hit my car. I didn't even put that up, but I have that. He asked my girl, oh, do you know him? Like it was going to be an issue if she did it. And she was like, "Yeah, that's my boyfriend." And then he suddenly had nothing to say. He was all right, but I don't like that. What's it matter if she knows me or not? That changes absolutely nothing. But he really sealed the deal that day. Because guess what? He didn't come and arrest me, which would imply that I was right. Yet, he still hasn't went and gave Peter Camp a ticket. Peter just stopped parking in the public spots, and now he parks in the police spots. I don't understand how these guys get jobs. They really get jobs working for the government, the state, and they don't even know how our fucking judicial system works. How do you think a judge can tell everybody at the court, everybody that works there, give them special parking permits? You can't, not on not on our property. Maybe for the parking lot. Maybe we have a whole four floor parking garage over there that we pay for permits for every single one of them to park in. And they're so fucking lazy. They still park in the police parking only because it's closer. The same prosecutor that wouldn't drop my fucking crossing in a no crosswalk, which is the same prosecutor who I got a ticket for parking in the police parking only. And when I called to try and get information on the guy that assaulted me, he wouldn't give me any information on the guy that assaulted me that worked there. But he started bitching about the ticket I got him. And even though the statute is very clear, he said he didn't see what I was saying. It clearly says you don't, as long as you don't impede traffic, you're good. Like, if you do not use the crosswalk, do not impede traffic. It is simple. So I just need to get that case out. I mean, at this point, I don't think I can go to any court because they all sound the same. None of them will look at evidence. None of them will do their job. They all just whine and cry. What up, Deanna? Absolutely. Viking, what's good? They are too lazy to walk. It's fucking pathetic, dude. They park the Marshall van every day in handicap or 10-minute parking all day. Why? There's a parking lot. There's a parking garage. They have those stickers on the back of the van. Oh, how's our driving? File a complaint. Dude, I filed probably 30 of those. I went down there every day and filed a complaint. And guess what? Nothing happened. Nothing happens regardless. I have all Giller's complaints. I don't know if it's all of them. They claim it is, but I got every complaint filed on Giller, even ones that are unfounded. So I'll show those soon. I just haven't had time. And we're going to get more footage. We're just going to continue putting them out there. And I really believe if he gets found, there goes one there. I bet you he'll go sit in this parking lot. But if he gets found to be searching cars illegally and doing this and doing that, look at how much stuff they're going to have to go back and look at. He has been doing this for 3 years now. There is plenty. Dude, when I was at court the other day, the guy that went before me was, I forgot his name. It was Roach. If anybody's in here from Willimantic, I want to say, I don't know, but it was something Roach. He got stopped. They didn't say anything about drugs. Well, they did. They said he got stopped because they saw him doing narcotics activity. But then there was no narcotics in the car. He wasn't charged with narcotics. So that leads me to believe they found absolutely nothing. Well, he didn't want to ID because I don't know the reason, but I would assume probably because he felt like he did nothing wrong and they had no reason to stop him. Watch my last video of Giller. He made up the reason to stop that car. So I would believe it happens all the time. And he didn't want to identify, so they arrested him for that. So he took fucking interfering for that. I'm like, no, dude. Interfering's not... Well, that's a motor vehicle, so it's a little different. But they use interfering to arrest everybody here. All the time, everything. What do you mean, Jimmy? Oh, you saw that? I don't know what that means. Yeah, Deanna, that's what they charged me with in New London. Or not in New London, New Britain. I wasn't even talking to anybody. Stupid ass supervisor showed up. And that's what I've learned is usually it's not even, I mean, sometimes it's the regular officers, but like when the supervisors show up, it gets even worse. They're even dumber. Pharrell showed up. They told Pharrell that they didn't see me do anything. They don't even know if I did anything. And they're in the process of checking the cameras. If he would have waited 5 minutes, guess what? They never would have did that because there was no trespassing. They made it up. And even though, I mean, I don't know how many people in here have seen the video, but that day they clearly stated they were arresting me for trespassing and interfering. Well, we had a suppression hearing. The officer, Peachy, and one of the quote-unquote victims, which is a citizen worker at the department. She was payroll or something else, records. Came in and they completely changed their story. It wasn't that I was interfering and trespassing. It was they thought I was breaking into cars because the fat, dumb, plainclothes officer was setting his car alarms off. He also came and asked me if I needed anything. I said, no, I'm good. Okay, thanks, bye. He went and told the female officers when they were coming down that he asked me for my name. He asked me to leave, and I said no. And I was being a dick. But he doesn't write it in his report. It's only in the females. In his report, he wrote what happened. And we only know what happened because they told the truth. Luckily, like, we wouldn't have known that. And the court just let them change their whole narrative. The statements, the department, they claimed that I was following the ladies to their cars, that I was making them uncomfortable. Suddenly they come in and it's, no, I didn't move. I stood there the whole time. The only thing that they tried to twist up was when I noticed her filming me. I'm not an idiot. I know she's uncomfortable. I walked away for a reason, so she could get in her fucking car and leave. They tried to say that I walked towards her, which I didn't. I never walked towards her, not once. They tried to say that they said hi to me as they walked by, and I just stared at them. These retards didn't say anything. They didn't say one fucking thing. They're liars. But court just lets them lie. What do? Make them lie. That's it. Like, I don't know. That's what I figured. Call them in. Let them lie. She should be on the Brady list. That's my opinion. How do you come in and completely lie about something? The judge even ruled. She ruled that we lost the suppression hearing so that they could add the Terry stop. That's what we were fighting, the fake Terry stop. The judge ruled we lost. They thought they wanted me to take 6 months of special probation that we could appeal. And I didn't feel like that was, my lawyer wanted me to do that. But I felt like that was the wrong road. Because if we're just fighting the Terry stop, we're not really fighting these bad officers, are we? But she said she didn't want me to take the probation and they needed a review because they don't want this going to the appellate court. Yeah, no duh, because you guys want to be able to continue abusing people and arresting people for interfering, for not IDing on a daily basis. That's why. That's my opinion. Who knows what the real reason is, but to me that's what makes sense. She knows it wasn't what they claim, and if it goes up, it's going to go our way. Despite that, my lawyer gave him 3 months to go talk to victims and try and drum up something else. I didn't really agree with that, but he did. And then we come back, and there's nothing new, but the prosecutor don't want to drop it. So the judge asked me again if I'm gonna. They called me back. They arrested me, dude. They said they sent me a letter. Where's he going? They said they sent me a letter, which they may have, but they didn't use the right address. So I never got it. They set my court date for a day I was in another court. So even if I got it, all I would have been able to do was call. Danielson was set up long before that. I didn't know that none of it even happened because I wasn't notified. I go to family court one day and the fucking dumbass marshals, I don't even know how they knew. It's not like they run people for warrants. You know what I mean? Everybody going in there. Do they check everybody for warrants? No. But they knew I had a warrant. So they called the state police. And the state police came and arrested me. In my eyes, if I'm already there, they should have just put me in holding and let me do my hearing that day. But they didn't. They made me miss court because they're a bunch of fucking idiots. And so I go to New Britain. All they changed was the judge didn't even know why I was there. I asked her, oh, I don't know. So you guys just put a $10,000 bond on me and had me arrested. And you don't even know why the fuck I'm here? That don't even make sense. She said, the only thing that I could figure out was there's either a parole officer or probation officer that hangs out down here. I see the car all the time where the black car is. But the offer changed. They wanted 3 years of probation before, then they wanted 6 months of probation, and that day she said something about a conditional discharge. So I think that's all they called me back for, was to see if I would take a lower offer. But I've told them for almost, this case has been going on over 2 years now. November will make 2 years, for pretty much 18 months now. Over 18 months now. I've been telling them, no, I want a trial. So why are you guys calling me back to tell me, to ask me about this stupid ass offer? The prosecutor admitted to my lawyer that she had a personal problem with me, a personal grudge against me. She doesn't like people like me because somebody put her address out on Facebook, like, I don't know, years and years ago. I'm like, what's that have to do with me? That literally has nothing to do with me. I've never doxed anyone. He said, oh, it doesn't matter. She doesn't like you. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And I had a problem with that too. Like, that was a paid lawyer. That dude was getting paid good. $500 an hour. And you're going to be okay with a prosecutor on the case who clearly has a problem with me, doesn't like me for her own personal reasons. That's not a conflict of interest. I've honestly learned, I don't know. This is my experience. Oh, what up, Silver? I didn't even see it. What are you talking about, Donald? Dude, I have a letter from the chief of police up there. He sent me a letter, an email, a week later, admitting that what I was doing was legal, 100% legal. And he's opening up an internal affairs investigation into his officers. The department dropped the trespassing. They originally had trespassing on me. They dropped it. The prosecutor added trespassing back on without even reviewing anything. 18 months in, when we had the suppression hearing, we had to end it early because she had never seen my video or any of my stuff that I had been trying to give them for 18 months. That's fucking ridiculous. How are these retards telling people to take deals and this and that without even looking into anything? Our system, our courts are fucked. Like, people don't understand how broken our courts are until you go through it. And Luback, that's his name. That's a prosecutor from Danielson. Dude's a retard. They don't even care. They don't even ask if, are you guilty? What happened? They don't care. They literally read the police report and strictly go off the police report. That's the only way that prosecutor could have added trespassing. Because when Fat Boy lied to the female officers, that's the only time anywhere does it say that I was asked to leave. They refused to let me leave. I tried to leave twice and they blocked me. The cops tried to say I was detained as soon as they walked up. The judge said, when did his detention start? The cop said, as soon as we got there. And the judge was like, nah, that's not how it works. So, and this is the messed up part too. My lawyer said, watch, they're going to rule that the detention started after you were asked the questions, which would mean that they're interfering. They're wrong either way, but if we're playing by their rules, that would mean you didn't interfere. And I'm like, okay. So he said, when that happens, we file a motion to dismiss right away. And I'm like, all right, word. Well, then that exact thing happened, and he didn't file anything. So that's when I started getting annoyed. They kept making me come back every month, so I ended up firing him. You gotta step down, dude. Like, you're not, I don't know, my public defender now. Like, they don't do anything you want. They do what they want, and that's to try and barter you a deal. Like, that was the worst thing I did, was let them come on. And it's funny, because my first prosecutor, or my first public defender, who worked for the court, I felt like was way better than the public defender I have now. The special, the one that doesn't even work for the court. He literally sounds like a prosecutor. His signs in Willimantic, Democratic lawyer. Oh, use me. Dude, you gotta go, bro. You gotta go. Well, I'm probably going to get off just because it's going to start snowing soon. If I see anything, I'll come back on. Tomorrow, maybe I'm going to get up early. Maybe we'll go down to court. Ask the court some questions. These losers. See if we can catch some of these marshals making out in the parking garage with each other. But let me know what you guys think. Deanna, good to see you. Silver Pro. Donald. Toe for life. I didn't even see you. What up, bro? John. Joe. Jose. Brick. What up, Brick? Jimmy Torres. Tom Wilson. Country, West Virginia. I don't know where they all are. What's going on at the school? It's like the weather gets bad and you don't see them. I don't know. But that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going out I'm going to go ask these dudes about this murder every time I can. And I'm going to try and get them to arrest this criminal. I'd go down to the department, but they're probably going to try and trespass me from there. That's how fucking dumb they are. And it's kind of disappointing because the one that was trying to act all cool with us, Perry's in on it. Perry's the one that her contact point at the department, so he knows that they trespassed this mother, that they murdered her son. She was going down there asking questions and doing what she's allowed to do, and they trespassed her. That's what kind of fucking losers we're dealing with. These aren't men. These aren't stand-up members of the community. These aren't good people. They're straight pussies and criminals. They will do anything to get out of accountability, to shut you up. They think they could just trespass her and it's going to go away. Okay, guys, that's not what's going to happen at all. Not today, not tomorrow. I'll go down there and protest. I just don't want to go down there by myself. I get bored, and I'm kind of it's kind of sad that nobody from this town. Why wasn't there a protest when that happened? Like, why wasn't there people down there then? Nobody cares anymore. Well, I'm not saying nobody, but most people don't care about anything unless it directly affects their life. And that's a big problem of why we are where we are. Yeah, they'll care in a few years when it's their kid, their mother, or them. You know what I mean? But then it's going to be too late. So, I'll see you guys on the next one. I appreciate everybody that came in here. Rob, always good to have you. I'll see you guys soon.